Friends, as we look around this world today, no matter what newspaper we read, no matter what newscasts you watch, no matter what books you read, there is a winner and a loser in every society. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the whole world of mankind and womankind and put them all in one package. All mankind, including women, children, and men. They are all losers, friends. Everyone on this earth is a loser. Who won? Or who is winning? Well, if you want to go to good and evil, who's winning? Satan, the devil, has won. Let me repeat that. Not only is he winning, he has won. He has won. If you want to call a decision on something like sexual immorality, corruption in politics, corruption in anything, Satan the devil has won. Hands down. Very little competition. Very little. As I look down this road, friends, that I have traveled, I look down those 75 years that I can see, that I have lived, losers all the way. There is no winners as far as mankind goes. The only winner, the only hope that mankind has is this. There better be a Jesus Christ. Let me repeat that. There better be a Jesus Christ. If not, Satan the devil has won hands down. And as far as one-on-one goes, he's already won. He's already won. And the only hope that we have today is, was there a Jesus Christ who died for all mankind so as he would have a hope of everlasting life? Beyond that, friends, we're all doomed. No one can show me or tell me any other difference. There is no other way, friends. If there is no Jesus, there is no hope. None at all. And you know, when we come down to the word of Jesus Christ, we see a religion on this earth called the cult tower or watchtower, putting a fictitious name ahead of Jesus Christ. This is what they have done. A fictitious name of Jehovah. Okay? There is no Jehovah. They even admit the Catholics made that up because it was the closest thing to Yahweh. Well, if something is the closest to something, it means it's not really there. It's just closer. That's all. closer. See? It's just the same way as the light's getting brighter. The light's getting brighter. The light's getting brighter. You could go on forever with a light getting brighter. Forever, forever, forever. See? But I have examined my life at my age now, and in reality, I have no other choice but to believe in Jesus Christ. Because I don't believe in no Yahweh or Jehovah no more. I don't believe in that. Because that's all a bunch of nonsense that this cult tower has going on. It's just a game they're playing for money and wealth and keeping people in captivity. They are winning. They are winning. If you look at the churches of the world today, most of them are empty. A few old diehards are still clinging to the old rugged cross. But they're dying out. They're dying out. Now, what do we have coming along? We have young people coming along. We have young people who don't believe in most things in that Bible. Now, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about in the belly of the fish. We're talking about Noah's Ark. We're talking about all the things like a father stabbing his son almost, but then all of a sudden changes his mind and don't stab him to death. Now that don't make no sense. It does not make no sense. Now some can say, well, that was only to show the people of the world how deep the Father was in loving Jehovah, that he would even stab and kill his own son. Now, I think it's a deplorable way to examine one's faith, that he would go as far as killing his own son. It doesn't make no sense. There better be a Jesus Christ. When you hear about things like that, there better be a Jesus Christ. I hope and pray that there is a Jesus Christ. I hope and pray the things that he done was reality. And so far I have seen nothing unreal that Jesus did. He resurrected people from the dead, and there was no miraculous thing about it. To us today, yes, it will be a miraculous thing. But for the simple fact that it can be done, proves that it did happen. I distinctly believe in everything that Jesus done. But now for all these other things, I find it hard to believe in it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that I don't believe in a man going in the belly of a fish and then being spewed out to go preach the good news of God. I don't see any sense in it. What sense does it make? It seems like to me that it's just a bunch of fairy tales. A bunch of fairy tales. You know, I am not anti-faith faith, I will say faith, because I don't like to use that word religion, because it's nothing but a racket. That's all religion is, a racket. It has proven itself that it's nothing but a racket. Because when you look at all this nonsense on TV, the dollars, the Jesse Duplantises, who even claims he told God what to do. God asks him how to do a certain thing. Now, can you believe that? And yet, there are people sitting out there, they're jammed up, listening to this nonsense, and then filling his bucket up with money so he can fly away to the next state and spew out his garbage about religion, about what God does for him. He wants him to have a new plane now. Yeah, this is his third jet plane. Now, when we talk about the myths and fairy tales, oh, it's so important that he has a jet plane. It's so important. What is so important about it? All these people on TV that allows this junk, these money-making TV companies, they allow this junk because it's freedom of this and freedom of that. It's a business. Okay? But can you imagine now that it's so important that Jesse Duplantis has a new jet plane to fly to another state to preach about Jesus? Well, I don't need no man to fly in from anywhere to preach about Jesus. What can he tell me about Jesus? What? There's nothing he can tell me about Jesus. He only can say the same things he said in all the other places he's been. The same repetition. See? There's nothing new. See? We all know that there's a Jesus Christ. We all know what he done. How much do you need of it? It's just like the cult tower. Draw closer to Jehovah. Draw closer to Jehovah. Well, how damn close can you get? And it would make Jehovah angry. See? It would make Jehovah sad if you did this. All that, it sounds like a bunch of garbage out of a fairy tale. Jehovah would be sad. Now, here is the being that created everything in the world, and he would be sad if a little child played with a toy that was made by a some kind of company that certain religions didn't agree with. See? It would make Jehovah sad. We got nonsense like that from the Watchtower. And the one of the biggest flim-flams I can see in the Bible is, I've never seen it in the Bible, about masturbation. See, I have never read anything about masturbation in the Bible. I have read about someone spewing semen on the ground. It'd be better to drop it in the belly of a woman than to spew it on the ground. But what I want to know is it against God's principles? Is it like the Ten Commandments that a young man of 13 years old should never, never, never masturbate. And yet, he was created with that desire in him. A desire for the opposite sex. Okay? Now, suppose it was so that if you did masturbate, you would die and never be resurrected again. You know where I'm headed for on this one. There would be nobody going to heaven, as the witnesses claim. There would be nobody here in a righteous new paradise. There would be no life at all over the world if a man was condemned forever for masturbation. Likewise, I don't know that much about the women in this conversation, but I would say they're right in there too. They have the same feelings, same desires as a man. See? It's a normal thing. Now, suppose God made it so as that there was no good feelings in sex. What would happen to the population of the world? They would die out. They would die out. Because if there was no good feeling in sex, there would be no sex. There would be none. Man would not do anything that did not feel good on command to multiply and fill the earth. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it if it didn't feel good. This is, to me now, I'm speaking from me. This is one of the reasons I believe God made it so as it did feel good. That way man would have to multiply and fill the earth. Because we know man don't want to do what he's supposed to do. It's not in him. So I really believe that God has it that way. So as multiplying would be automatic. Now, you can say, well, look at the world conditions of all the people. Yes. Yes, you could say that, but what are you going to do? You don't have no paradise earth here. We say Adam and Eve started this nonsense, and this is where we are today. See? Multiply and it's still filling the earth. Multiply and it's still filling the earth. See? Unwanted children, aborted children, it goes on and on and on. You know, man's in trouble. He is in deep, deep, deep trouble. You know, I can think back when marriage used to be sacred. See, this is why I can look back down that 75 years, you know, that I've been here. And I can see things that most of y'all have never seen because you're not as old as I am. See? But I see children being born and I see children dying. I see that. I have seen it all my life. Okay? All my life has always been the same thing. Multiplying, sex with your wife is the only way you should have sex. Okay, I can see the reason for that. Now, suppose there was no sacredness in marriage. There used to be. But I don't believe there's very, very little sacredness in marriage today. If there was sacredness in marriage, why is there so many divorces? Divorces are on the way out. Because if you really look at it, what is the purpose of marriage? What is the purpose of it? If you're going to eventually leave your wife or leave your husband or sexually start swinging, now you know where I'm going with this one, sexually swinging, exchanging wives, exchanging husbands, you all know what I'm talking about. It's going on everywhere in this world today. And out of shame, most people try to hide it. But it's there. All you have to do is look at this internet, and you can see it everywhere on here now. You can see men looking for men. You can see women looking for women. You can see couples looking for couples. You can see triples looking for triples. And it goes on and on and on and on. Satan is one. Satan is one because what else is there to do now when we're talking about sex? What else is there to do? It's beyond now. It's beyond anything. You know, I use the same sentence. A young lady asked me many years ago, John, what is this world coming to? And I told her, Debbie, it's already came to it. It's already came. And this was about 40-some years ago. Imagine what has happened since then. See? You know how it used to be, some of y'all do, how deplorable it was to look at another man's wife. Now you have it so husbands want men to look at their wives. Do you see how everything is just breaking down? Everything is breaking down that's supposed to be sacred in marriage. It's breaking down to whereas it's not even nothing at all sacred about marriage. Nothing. The days of getting married, having children, buying a home, sending your kids to college, those days are gone. They're gone. There's kids going to college. Oh, yeah, that's true. It always will be. But it's not the number one thing anymore. See? It's not the number one thing. The number one thing now is pleasure. Whether it be pills, whether it be illegal drugs, whether it be sex, whether it be alcohol, whether it be swinging, whether it be men lying with men, women lying with women, it don't matter. We could go on and on and on. But that is the end thing now. Do what you want to do. This is what we have come to, friends. Satan has won. Satan has won. There is nothing we can do now but keep a close relationship with Jesus. Everything else is out the window. I don't pay any attention to none of it no more except Jesus. He's the only one that ever died and came back. He's the only one that ever walked this earth and did not think and do anything that was against God's will. So he is the main one. He is the main one. Jehovah, this name that the cult tower uses, is not the main one. He didn't die for mankind. What did he do? He created everything in the beginning, we know that, but it ended there. It ended there. There's nothing after that. What else is there after that? See? I don't know of anything else. People talk about spiritual food. What is spiritual food? What is it? It's to me, it's the Bible. That's the food. You can read that for yourself. You don't need nobody to read it to you. You can read it yourself. But it creates jobs for all these money-making men who uses the word religion in order to make money and to make his own self be looked upon as the almighty man who knows it all. He's so righteous. Oh my, look who God has blessed him. And it goes on and on and on, friends. But I'm going to close this video now with a question to you. To you, has Satan won? Has Satan won? Is the only thing left now is the finale of the whole thing? Is that all we can look for now, is the finale? You know, if you read the good book of Ecclesiastes, to me that book is the most sensible book in the Bible. I call it the Six-Pack Joe book. It's 12 chapters in there, and everyone is right common sense. Just common sense about serving God. Doesn't go into all this here, this voodoo stuff that you don't even know what they're talking about. But Ecclesiastes is the only book in the Bible, in the Hebrew scriptures, that I even read. It's the only one I read because I understand it. Proverbs is the next one. I understand Proverbs. I understand Ecclesiastes. See? But you go into Judges and Kings, First and Second Kings, don't mean nothing to me. And I don't think it means anything to anybody else either. If there is, let me know. What am I missing out on? See? Well, friends, I'm going to close now and say to you, at least hang on to Jesus. Hang on to Jesus. Forget about all this other nonsense that we have talked about of those fake guys on TV, those fake money makers, those who preach that money is the answer, and that's all. There's no other answer to anything but money. See? We don't need that crap, and we don't need no cult tower. See? And the cult tower is one of the biggest ones, because any person that would give up his family for a bunch of men, bent over old men, and I mean bent over, they're older than I am, some of them, they're bent over. That means they're older. You know, I'm not even bent over yet. But they're bent over in their 60s. They're bent over. Yes, they are bent over. Not that there's anything wrong with being bent over, but I'm just drawing it out as an illustration. You're old now and you're withered down. Why should I believe hardly anything you say when you're doing it for your own selfish reason? Even if God spoke to you himself and told you that you were in the wrong setup here, following men here in Warwick or wherever the heck this place is, you still wouldn't believe it. You still would not believe it. You would say, huh? Say, you don't hear nothing. You are completely brainwashed when it comes to the cult tower. They believe nothing but only what comes from the discreet slave class. Discreet. You know what discreet means? To me, it means sneaky. That's what it means to me now. Now, y'all can let it mean anything that you think it means. That's up to you. But to me, it means being sneaky and trying to get one over on people. Discreet. So, friends, I'm going to close it now and say good night. And thank y'all all for listening to me ramble on. And if you get a chance, go rant with Kim and Mikey. That boy can really rant. You talking about ranting now, boy, but you know, I love to hear him rant. I would pay money to watch him rant. Because that's what the cult tower needs. They need about 1 million Mikeys out there. They need 1 million Mikeys on the YouTube or whatever tube there is. They need 1 million Mikeys to set this darn thing straight. 1 million Mikeys and that nonsense in New York would close down as quick as I can bang this table. They would close down if there was 1 million Mikeys to blast away at them. Yes, it would. Thank you, friends. Thank y'all. Good night.